Yes, tonight is all about letting go the short pain that leads to a lifetime of power. The short pain that leads to a lifetime of power. Yes, it's such a simple word. Letting go. Letting go is such a simple word. Tonight, we're going to be talking about letting go. Yes, it's so simple. But if we are so honest with ourselves, we will know that as simple as it seems, it feels so impossible. And we're going to be talking about one, two, three, four, five, six things. Yes, the 15 things that we have to let go. Yes, the 15 things that we have to let go in order to step into the freedom, in order to step into our growth. And we're going to be looking at the 15 reasons why letting go is so necessary for our growth and for our freedom and for our peace. And the thirdly, we're going to be looking at why letting go feels so hard. It feels so hard. It's like we are used to it. It feels so hard. And how our mind, the human mind, and the human heart resist letting go. Remember, the topic is the short pain that leads to a lifetime of power. When I talk about lifetime of power, I'm talking about reclaiming our inner power. Reclaiming our inner power. There is a inner power that we need to reclaim. Letting God, I can tell you for a free, is so scary. It's so scary because we tend to, it's about accepting change. It's about accepting change and releasing those burdens that hinders growth and our well-being. Yes, for us to grow, yes, and for us to be whole, we need to let go. And fourth thing, we're going to be talking about the shift that brings power. Yes, because power begins the moment that we stop clinging. Yes, the moment we stop clinging, then power begins. So we are going to be looking at the shift that brings that power. Then we're going to be looking at how to let go, because that is the most important thing here tonight. How to let go practically with steps that truly works. And lastly, we're going to be looking at the lifetime of power. How every great leader that you see out there, every visionary, every person of faith has mastered this art of letting go by releasing the hold and reclaiming their inner power. Yes. So we need to reclaim the inner power that we have lost. We are going to be starting with the 15 things. Yes. The 15 things that we need to let go. And I'm going to be starting from toxic relationship and what it means and short-term pain and long-term benefits. For the toxic relationship, we need to let go of people who have hurt us, people who have manipulated us, people who drains our energy. I call it toxic relationship. The relationship that does not benefit you. Yes, it may be friends, family, it may be a romantic partner. We need to let go. The I would say a fact, yes. The fact is it has a pain. It has its short-term pain and it also has its long-term benefits. If you let go of toxic relationship, if for a short period you're going to be lonely, yes. You're going to feel the guilt. You're going to feel guilty, yes. You're going to miss them, yes. You're going to be afraid of being alone, yes. But the long-term benefits, if you let go of toxic relationship, you're going to have peace, yes. More energy for positive relationship, yes. Self-respect because you are respecting yourself and freedom to grow. Another thing, another second thing that we need to let go. We need to let go of resentment. Yes. Let go of the anger that is holding us back, of the bitterness. If you have bitterness or anger towards someone who has hurt you, he's replaying the hurt in your mind. And you are now replaying that hurt in your mind over and over. The short term pain of letting go of such anger is you will feel like you are being unfairly treated. It's true. You will feel like discomfort emotionally. Yes, you will feel the memories of past pain. I agree with you, but it has a long term benefit of letting go of those anger, resentment, yes, of those hurts. It brings emotional freedom and it reduces stress. It causes you to have a better health and inner peace. Someone said the best thing in life is not to take things so personal. Yes. Stop taking things so personal. Let go of those anger, let go of those resentments. Because I agree, you might feel cheated, you might feel unfairly treated. Emotionally, you might feel discomfort. You might feel like you are being unfairly, yes, you are being unfair to. Yes, I agree. But on the long run, you're going to have your inner peace and emotional freedom. The third thing we need to let go, let's be very fast. Fear of failure. What this means is when you worry, yes, worrying you will mess up or not meet expectation. Hmm. When you are afraid to fail, you need to let go of fear of failure because fear stops you from trying new things. It is true. You might have anxiety for letting go of such fear of failure. You might feel embarrassed. In fact, you might have a self-doubt. You might feel like, oh, will you do it right or wrong? But I tell you, do it afraid. Do it afraid. It's going to bring on the long-term benefit, courage, confidence, growth, new opportunities, and freedom to try. Yes. So please drop that fear of failure and do the work. Yes, go for it. The worst thing that could happen is you fail. And if you fail, you have learned. Yes. But you move on. It gives you more confidence, it gives you courage. Yes, and you grow. You need to let go of the need to control. Even boils down to parenting. Sometimes what happens is we try to control everything. We try to control when people say, let me just boil down to healing journey that we are on. Needs to control. When we are trying to manage everything, we are trying to manage everyone. We want life to go exactly our way. Hmm. It could cause, yes, we need to let go of that. You need to control everything. You cannot control people. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control your marriage. You cannot control how other person behaves to you. You know. So we need to let go of the need to control. Of course, the short term pain could be anxiety, frustration. It will cause discomfort. When things does not go our way, we might feel uncomfortable. But the long term, we have peace, flexibility, stronger relationship, mental freedom. Yes. Another key thing we need to let go is past mistakes and regrets. Yes, they are our past, they've happened. We need to let go of them. Feeling guilty or upset about things that we did or that we didn't do in the past is okay. Please let go, let it go. It might bring shame, I agree. It might cause us guilt for letting go. It might mean replaying old decisions, yes. But the long term benefit of letting go of all this guilt and shame is self compassion. On the long term benefits, self compassion is going to give us confidence. Yes, lesson has been learned. We cannot be tamed to our past. We need to focus on where we are going. The number 16, we need to let go. Negative self talk. Yes, we need to let go of negative self talk. What does this mean? When you constantly criticize or you doubt yourself inside your head. Hmm. You need to let go of of doubting yourself. Yes, you need to let go of negative self-talk. When you let go of negative self-talk, I agree, it might bring frustration, awareness of old habits. In fact, it might cause a low self-esteem just for the short time period. But when you let go of negative self-talk, it brings confidence. You become optimistic, better choices, emotional stability. So please, let's stop talking negative things about ourselves. Seventh thing we need to let go. Everybody's on this table. We need to let go of comfort zone. Staying in the same routine, avoiding new challenges because Same routine feels so safe. It might feel so safe, but the reason why we need to let go is because on the long run, it's going to cause growth. Yes. So we need to let go of our comfort zone. I agree that the short-term pain could be so stressful. We have the fear of unknown. We have the fear of self-doubt. Please let go of your comfort zone. And the long-term benefit definitely is going to bring you growth. It's going to bring confidence, new experience, and more opportunities. Some of us we are so attached to things materially, so we need to let go of material attachment. Say that again, material attachment. And what this means is when we cling so much to a particular clothes, to gadgets, to house, thinking those are the things that defines our happiness. When we let go of these material things, we might feel regret. We might feel that we've lost something. It might feel so sentimental. But the long term benefit of this, it gives us clarity because truly our happiness is not attached to things that we can see. If we attach our happiness to things that we could see, like car, vehicles, achievements, what if we lose those things? It's going to break us down mentally. So the long term benefit is going to bring clarity, simplicity, more focus on experience, and more focus on people. Number 90, we need to let go seeking approval from others. What if you never get those approval? Yes. When you feel the need, when you feel like you need everyone to like or to accept you, it's never going to happen. So please, we need to let go. We need to let go of seeking approval from others. Initially, it could cause fear of rejection, guilt, you worry about what other people say or their opinion. But the long-term benefit is you become authentic. We call it self-respect. You become emotionally independent and it builds your confidence. What if the approval never comes? Then that means you are never going to become. Number 10, we need to let go of past identity or the old version of ourselves. Yes. When we hold on to outdated beliefs, when we hold on to bad habits or past habits that no longer serve us, or patterns or roles, yes. When we let go of this past identity or the old version of ourselves, we might feel confused. Another thing I would say is how do you see yourself? Because nowadays we have issues with identity crisis. If you see yourself as the image of God, then I think you're going to respect yourself more. So I want you to see yourself in that likeness. Yes. And the long-term benefits of this is it gives you a true self-expression, empowerment, and clarity of purpose. So you need to let go of old version of yourself that no longer serves you. Number 11, you need to let go of regret over lost opportunities. Agreed. You've lost those opportunities. Why regret? I know it might feel so hard to do all this. What it means is wishing you have done something differently, and when you begin to replay those scenarios of like what if you let go, it could cause sadness, frustrations. If you let go of this regret, it could cause like you are feeling stuck. Yes. If you let go, you might feel like no, like you are feeling stuck. You could even cause sadness. But please, let go of regret over lost opportunities because the long-term benefit is going to focus on the present and you learn from your mistake. Motivation, you'll be motivated to seize new opportunities. Like any opportunities, just please grab it. You need to let go of anxiety about the future. Well, everyone is on this table. We all worry about the future. Worrying about what may happen, worrying about what might happen, and imagining worst case scenario. The short term benefits, please, we need to let go of anxiety about the future. Definitely, we don't know about the future, but if you can hand over our life to the owner of the future, who is Jesus Christ, is definitely going to help us because He knows tomorrow. So please, let's stop worrying because when we do, it gives us stress, restlessness, difficult making decisions. The long-term benefit of letting go of this is cause calmness, clarity, better decisions, and peace of mind. We need to let go of comparison. We need to let go of comparison and we need to let go of envy. Yes, thank you. Letting go of envy and comparison. It means when we feel jealous of what others have or comparing yourself to them. Yes, you need to let go of that. The short term pain that this can cause us is insecurity and self doubt. Yes, but the long term, if we let go of heavy, we're going to be contented. It's going to give us self confidence. It's going to give us gratitude, and it's going to give us better relationship. We need to let go of limiting belief. Yes, there are some beliefs that they no longer serve us. The thoughts that stop us from achieving our potentials, like we are not good enough or I can't do it, thank you. So the short-term pain this brings is self-doubt, hesitation, fear of trying. The long-term benefit of this is freedom to grow. When we let go of self-limiting belief, yes, it gives us freedom to grow. It gives us confidence, new opportunities, and creativity. And lastly, attachment to outcomes. Fine, you have attained a greater height, you're achieving a lot, we know, but you still need to let go of attachment to outcomes because expecting life to always go your way and feeling stress if it doesn't. So we need to let go of expected outcome. The short term pain when we let go of, okay, this has happened. You might feel so disappointed. I agree, anxiety, frustration, but we need to let go so that we can have peace, flexibility, and ability to enjoy life as it comes. And we need it's also going to help us to be more resilient. Yes. I've mentioned these 15 things that we need to let go. I don't know which one is applicable to you. It's about releasing that way. It's about releasing what weighs you down. It could be a people, person, habit, it could be fear, it could be anything. I want to tell you that you have room for growth, for freedom, for power. And the pain is temporary, but the benefits are life changing. So I don't know which area is applicable to you. It could be a relationship, a dream that didn't work out. It could be a marriage that you think, well, things are not working. Or even a version of yourself you've outgrown. Releasing it, remember I mentioned the need to control. Releasing it feels like tearing away a part of you. It hurts, it feels unnatural, but this is the truth. The pain is short, and once you step through it, you unlock something far greater, a lifetime of peace, strength, and power. We're going to be going to the second one. So I say 50 reasons why letting go is necessary for your peace. Yes, why you have to let go. I agree that holding on, it might keep you stuck in your past. In the book of Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18, it said, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. Hmm. It drains your energy. Cling to anger, regret, or the toxic relationship. It wastes emotional and mental strength. And the mental strength you could use to even build. Yes. Like resentment, it could poison you. It doesn't poison them. When you hold a grudge, the other person often moves. Yes. Yes, the other person moves on. So you the one that is trapped. So forgiveness, the truth is forgiveness sets you free. I wish I could say anything else, but this is the truth. It sets you free. Fear grows stronger the longer you hold on to grudges. Every time you hold on to fear, you train your mind to stay small. So letting go, it breaks that circle of remaining small. If we hold on to all this, it blocks God's blessing because God cannot feel a closed hand. But when you release, you make the space for God to bring the new thing that He has promised. If you notice, you will have known that these things that you have refused to let go, it steals your peace. And clinging to what hurts you, keep your spirit restless. Release open the door to calmness and to rest. First Peter chapter 5 verse 7 reminds us, it says, cast all your anxiety. I've talked about anxiety of the future. Cast all your cares. Yes, you were not built to carry everything. Bible says, cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. So when you let go, it means you are trusting God. Yes, for his strength over yours. Because I know his Bible says not by power, not by might, yes, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. So when you let go, you are trusting God. So why not trust God? It creates space for healing. Wound does not heal if you keep reopening them. So you need to let go. And letting go is how you allow scars to form to form. Is how you allow scars, yes, to form, and you allow strength to go. And let me remind you, sometimes you need to do this practice over and over again. You need to come back and listen to this webinar again. Because sometimes, even though you think you have let go, you will have a replay of those things in your mind. And you need someone to remind you of those things to let go again. Yes. So you repeat those activities that helps you grow. Yes. And it prevents bitterness from taking root if you let go. You unleash you yes, it prevents bitterness from taking its roots, which could spread into every aspect of our life. So letting go will uproot all those bitterness early. And when you let go, it restores focus. Yes. Exam, for instance, when you let go of distractions, regrets, old battles, your energy shifts towards purpose and towards growth. So you need to let go so as to for you to be more focused. And like I've said earlier, it teaches us trust in God. Letting go is faith in action. It says, God, I don't have control, but I trust you do. Yes. And it also brings emotional freedom. Letting go bring emotional freedom. You stop being shamed to hold stories, hold people, hold pain. Freedom comes when we stop reliving. When freedom comes when we stop living in the past. Yes. And it also prepares us for new opportunities. Every ending is a beginning in disguise. That is it. When you let go, it's a new beginning. So release opens the door for fresh possibilities that we are never going to see if we cling to those past. And letting go also gives us strength. It strengthens us. The short-term pain of letting go builds long-term resilience. You discover your true strength on the other side. I call it reclaiming your inner power. It aligns you with your purpose. Clinging to the wrong thing keep you off the track. So we need to let go, yes, so that we can have clarity and position us for the life that God actually created for us to live. Then we're going to be looking at why letting go feels so hard. Yes. And it's about how the human minds are being wired. Yes. We are being wired in such a way as to hold on to people, to comfort. I talked about leaving your comfort zone. So we are being wired to hold on to people, to comfort, to certainty. I wrote here, I said you are not of a disadvantage. You had the disadvantage, yes. You are the sorry, you are not of a disadvantage. You are the advantage the person never saw. So look at yourself in that mirror that you are not of a disadvantage. You had the advantage that that person never saw. So please let go. Yes. Letting go might feels like death. Yes. To the ego because the ego survives by attachment. That's why when we release something or someone, we feel grief. Yes. We feel we are empty. Yes. Sometimes we feel fear. Yes. Allow yourself to pass through all these stages: grief, emptiness, fear, withdrawal. It's not permanent. Yes. It's going to happen. Allow yourself to go through all those stages. Yes. It is called turbulence before clarity. Let's think about this. The pain of holding on too long is far greater than the pain of letting go. The pain of holding on for too long without letting go is greater than the pain of letting go eventually. Holding on, it poisons us slowly, it kills us Though it feels comfortable, but letting go cleanses us so quickly. So please, because the mind of a man, we are wired in such a way as to cling to things. Yes. So that's why it feels so difficult. But please and please remember that the pain of holding on too long is far greater. It's costing you your destiny. It's costing you your future. It's costing you not having clarity. It's costing you lack of purpose. It's costing you having toxic people around you that drains your energy, and that way it's poisoning you slowly. But when you let go, it cleanses you so quickly, though it could be very, very painful. I call this the shift that brings about the power. Yes. When we talk about power, I'm talking about the power that begins the moment that we stop clinging. So there is a shift that brings the power. And the power begins the moment that we stop clinging. The moment we stop clinging, we regain the power. Now, we have let every other person, every other things have this power. But now, when we let go, the power is being shifted to us because we are now like in control of our life, not things controlling us, not relationship controlling us, not anger controlling us, not past regret controlling us. We are now in full control of our life. Like we have our life in our hands. Yes. Like when you let go of resentment, you stop feeding the person who hurts you. When you let go of fear, new opportunities begins to show up. I'll cite this a very close scenario. This is what's actually happening to me. Something, someone did something, like I mentioned earlier, please never take this personal. Someone did something that I was like, of definitely I was disappointed. That is the word. I was disappointed at what that person did. And when I got disappointed, I had an open conversation. This and this and this and this is what I think. So I was disappointed and made the person know that okay, this and this. And the person is very, very close to me. But even at that, even when things later got like, even the person later rectified those things, even at that, even up to now, by the grace of God, I said I was disappointed because number one, the person was very close. I never expected that. But I never allowed that in any way to get to me. What did I do to safeguard? I call it safeguarding my mental health. Number one, I don't want to feel rude and I don't want to be rude to the person because number one, the person is like a senior person to me. I'm not angry with the person, but I try as much as possible to give myself self-respect, to acknowledge that okay, this thing has happened and I don't want this thing to happen again. Not I'm not cutting off the relationship, no, because I believe every relationship that you have, you might still benefit from it in the future. So I was not overly like, well, I was not overly angered. I was only disappointed. But I still give, of course, I reduces the way I communicate with the person because I call this self-preservation. You get what I'm trying to say? I call it self-preservation. So I was trying to preserve my mental health because I don't want that scenario to happen again. I don't want to be disappointed by that person again because I've trusted that person that much. That was I was able to go extra miles for the person, and on the long run, I was so disappointed. So because of that, what I did was I reduced the conversation between I and the person. I was and the fact remains that actually I'm very very busy. That is the truth. That I've been able to give you a portion of my time, and I would say you misusing it and using it to work against me somehow. What I do is try to reduce the conversation. Well, like I say, please allow yourself to heal, to grow, to go through those griefs and those disappointments. Yes, allow it. Allow time to heal it. Allow yourself to grieve when you lose touch. Probably you have toxic relationship. I call that relationship not a toxic one though, but it is not a perfect one though. But I believe everyone will be okay eventually. So please allow yourself and give yourself time. Give yourself self-respect, because the fact remains that you need your mental health, yes, to function, to be useful for yourself, to be useful for your family, for your community, and for your nation. So, and I don't like being worked up, or I don't like being worked up at all, because I want peace at all time. Even the Bible says, follow peace with all men, without which no man can see the Lord. So please, in everything, reclaim your inner peace, because that way you hear God. When I say you let go, when I say you let go, I don't mean that. And when I say you forgive, I don't mean that every day you are not in that person's DM. Oh, I've forgiven you. Okay, what is going to happen today? What? No, no, no. That is not wisdom. Even though when you had forgiven the person, of course, you give room for open communication. Yes, but you just ensure you respect yourself. I call it self-preservation. So let's dive. That is from my own personal story. I hope somebody learned from that. And when I say let's go, letting go is not like you are giving up. No, 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 no. You're not giving up. You are giving space. And once the short pain passes, like I mentioned earlier, I was disappointed. I was going through some grief and some moments. It's a short one. Yes, the energy that we are wasting on cluttering and resisting, it returns to us. And that right there is our power. Now, I want to ask, how do we let go? I have a practical guide here. Yes, we'll be yes, how to let go. So we have just two things to go. Practical guide to let go. Number one, acknowledge what you are holding. What is that thing that you are holding on to? And psychologists they call this awareness. The brain cannot change what it refuses to notice. So what is that thing that you think you need to let go? Yes. Suppression actually strengthens. Sometimes we try to suppress these things. We try to suppress how we feel. We try to suppress how we feel. Yes. But what it does is it strengthens the neural pathway of pain. Like trying not to think of something that makes you think of it more. Imagine. So I want you to be self-aware. Notice that thing. And when you are aware, I want you to write it down. And I want you to say it out loud that I am holding on to this and this and this. It no longer serves me. She's true. So when you name it and reduces its grip on your subconscious, yes. When you name it, it reduces its grip on your subconscious. Even the book of John chapter 8 verse 32 says, then you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. So you need to name it. Then it's going to reduce the grip on your subconscious. Number two, you need to feel the emotion without fighting it. Hmm. I tell you, feel the emotion. You don't need to fight it. If it is grief, please grieve. If you are bitter, if you want to cry, please do. Emotions are energy waves in the body, and it usually lasts 90 seconds if we don't resist them. That is by neuroscience Gilbert Taylor. Because resisting or suppressing them is definitely going to prolong them. Please don't suppress your emotion. After you've named it, feel that emotion and don't fight it. Like when sadness, anger, or fear rises, breathe deeply, notice the sensation, don't judge them. Let them let them pass. Just notice them. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and the Bible says God meets us in the feelings. God does not meet the Lord is close to those people who are brokenhearted. Even the Bible acknowledges that we can be brokenhearted. Number three, reframe the story in your mind. Hmm. I say reframe the story in your mind, and this is what I mean by that. You could I was me. This is what I usually do. I give excuses for people because that way, that way I will secure my mental health. The brain operates through schemes. Yes, mental stories we tell ourselves. We call it cognitive behavioral therapy. By the grace of God, I'm a professional nurse, and I've worked in a mental health settings for quite some period of time. So when I talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, we call it CBT. It shows that reframing negative belief rewires brain pathway over time. And I will tell you practically, you could replace that I lost everything with I learned and I'm growing. Imagine the story I started regarding that relationship that I got disappointed at. One thing that I did not do is I will never blame the person. That is it. Because I could only talk to myself and I could only grow myself. So I talked to myself. I was like, oh, Felicity, this and this and this and this is what you've done that is wrong. This and this and this and this is what you shouldn't do next time. You get? Because the moment we start putting all the blames on the person will not get to. There's no way we can change the opposite person. We can only change ourselves. You get what I mean? And what I also do that really, really helps me is for everything that happens, I give that person an excuse. I could say, well, probably the person doesn't know, does probably the person doesn't know this and this and this and this, and that is why the person is acting this way. Yes, I give excuses a lot for people. If I don't know why though, but if I know why, I try to figure it out. But if I don't know why, instead of just I give excuses because I just want to. The way the brain works is the brain always find a why. And if you begin to give excuses for people, you will understand and you will know that it will give you clarity and you will secure your own mental health. I could just say, well, I believe the person doesn't know better. Because if the person knows better, the person wouldn't have reacted or acted that way. Yes. So, and that is the truth. And that is the truth. And that's applicable for people. Yes. So please try as much as possible to reframe what has happened in your mind and use the power of release ritual. Yes, I call it release ritual because the brain loves what is symbolic. Yes, symbolic actions like you could write and you tear it away. You could declutter an object that is tied to that pain. It helps the subconscious to accept the closure. Probably your ex. Why are you still checking up on that person? Why not delete the person's contact? Yes, delete the person's contact. Why not block that person? Why not? Yes, I'm telling you the truth. Why not block that person? Why not delete that person's number? Yes, even though you don't block the person, you might delete the person's number. Yes, or you might just do some few things just to secure your mental health. So use the power of release. Do something by letting go of that particular thing. Thank you. Also, I want you to practice journaling. When you journal what is happening to you, I think that I was talking to somebody when I was at work, and person was see, this is what happened. The person really did something that is so annoying, and everybody knew that this thing is so annoying, and they were like asking the Felicity, how do you go about this? I just laugh about it. I said, well, of course, that is already in my journal. I just told them, I let them understood that. So it's not they were feeling for me like how was I able to cope? What did I do? I just let them understood that well, I do journal and that's already in my journal. So that way I was able to release those burdens in my journal. Yes. So please get a journal. You could write it. Clean out a drawer and say, as I release this, I make space for something new. Practice delay micro letting go. And what I mean by this is practice some habit that shapes the brain neural circuits. Like a small repeated act of release, build neuroplasticity. Your brain literally gets better at letting go. What this means is letting go like gradually. It could mean it could come from when you exhale deeply. Yes. And imagine that you're letting go with each breath. Say no when you usually says yes out of guilt. Because probably you are someone who is always saying yes, 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 yes. Practice saying no today and see. Yes. Because let me let you know, People will definitely take you for granted when you keep saying yes, 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 yes. So sometimes start by saying no to that toxic relationship. Yes. And see how. So do something little by little and lean into uncertainty instead of control. Yes, lean into uncertainty. Stop leaning into control. Part of our brain, we call it prefrontal cortex, it craves for certainty. But the truth is, life itself is uncertain. Instead of you wanting to control, lean into that uncertainty. Yes. Because when we over control, we activate the brain stress called, we call it amygdala. Sorry if you're not someone who studied the human brain. Trust reduces cortisol and it increases resilience. So when uncertainty arises, Winnie, thank you. When uncertainty arises, replace I must control this with I trust I'm going to adapt. We are going to be closing shortly. I will just list the other ones. Replace the new, yes, replace the old with the new. Replace bitterness with gratitude. Replace toxic routine with nourishing ones. And I said strengthen through community. You need a community, yes, because the way human beings are wired, we need to be connected, support each other, because support activates us to sing. So I'm not just saying this so that you come to Tetokra. No, find a community that is edifying to you. Yes, and also you need to anchor your identity in God. You need to anchor your identity in God and not in attachment. Much of our pain comes from identity crisis. When we merge who we are with a role, a person, which I've said earlier, or a thing, when those things leaves, we feel shattered. No, we need to anchor this identity on something that does not change. Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we need to anchor our identity in Christ. We need to anchor our identity in Christ because this thing they don't change. And because of that, it stabilizes us. We need to practice meditation on the word of God, who we are. We know we are choosing, we are loved. Yes. So to crown it all, letting go is not just emotional act. It's a spiritual, I will call it a spiritual step. Yes. And the last one, the lifetime of power, whereby we reclaim our inner power. Every powerful person, every visionary, everyone you see out there, you admire has one thing in common. They have mastered the art of letting go, which is very, very essential. Think about it. That leader who inspires you, that entrepreneur who builds legacies, the believers who works in unshakable faith. See, they have passed through all these things. Yes, they have. And they have decided that they will not allow this thing to keep them stuck. They have their challenges as well, but they have decided that they will not be stuck with all this. They didn't get there by clinging to the hold. No, they got there by releasing. They got there by releasing it. They let go of old version of themselves. The insecure self, the fearful self, yes, the one who thought they weren't enough. They shed those skins like a snake shed its old layers, yes, just to make room for growth. So the reason why we are talking about all this is to make room for growth, to make room for purpose, but because we actually need to shed all these things, yes. We need to release those mistakes, those failures, where we have stumbled. We need to release them. But they didn't sit in the ashes forever. These people, they learn from it and write from it and move from it. Proverbs 24:16 says, though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. The power is not in the absence of failure. No, 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 no. It is in the ability to release failure and to keep working. They let go of people. They lost people. Yes. Yes. People who could not see their vision. People who drains their energy. People who refuse to grow with them. It is not because of pride. No. But because purpose requires focus. Amos 3:3 says, can two work together except they agree? Those things you need to share them. Anything you are going with, anything you are working with, need to agree with your focus and your future. So sometimes letting go of the wrong company is the only way to actually step into destiny. And the truth is, Letting go is not weakness, it is a doorway to a lifetime of power. There's power in clarity because your mind no longer clouded by what was. Power in peace because you are not fighting battles that are already over. Power in purpose because your energy is directed towards where you are going, not where you have been. And here's the secret most people miss. Letting it's not a one-time act, it's a rhythm, a discipline, a lifestyle. Every new level of growth requires another release. Every powerful person you admire has faced this choice again and again. Hold on and stay small, or let go and grow tall. I leave you with that quote today. Hold on and stay small, or let go and grow tall. So if you're holding on today, holding on to guilt, to anger, fear, to people who won't grow. Remember this: the short pain of release is the price for the lifetime of power you have been praying for. You have been praying for the lifetime of power, but it lies in your hand. The power is on the other side of letting go. Because every time you let go, you are being reborn. Every ending creates spaces for a new beginning. And the more you trust these cycles, the stronger, freer, and more unshakable you become. So letting go, please. It might hurt, but the pain is for a short period. So let me ask you, what are you ready to let go today? Tell me one thing you are ready to let go today. Tell me one thing. Type it, journal it, say it. Yes. So please, if you know these messages are actually helped you, like, share, subscribe on our YouTube, and share with someone who might need it. And remember, letting go is not the end, it is the beginning. Thank you.